And welcome back, everyone. Mike Hale along with Tom Winston, and we have another 4-5 matchup coming up. And traditionally, Tom, the 4-5 matchups are some of the best in the tournament. The teams are probably more evenly matched. And as we look at Hampden and Lawrence, when you look at the guards and you look at the tall guys, they match up very, very well.
Actually, I had a chance, Mike, to talk to both coaches before the game, and it's going to be a really very interesting ball game. From Hampden's standpoint, they have got to get their big kid involved early. Coach Andy Frey said they wanted to get Thomas a lot of touches early, get him into the flow of the game, and of course, as Hampden goes, as Rogerson goes, so goes Hampden. If they get off to a good start, then they expect to play well, and they like their chances. If you're Mike McGee, Mike said before the game, you know, he's got to pressure them. They want every shot that Hampden takes contested, and they're capable of that kind of defense. And when they explode like that defensively, watch out.
And you have a KVAC matchup against Big East, and I was looking down through all the matchups in the quarterfinals, and it's really interesting how the seedings broke down this year. It's all KVAC against Big East all the way through.
And it's really interesting to see conference against conference. It gives everybody a chance to see the best of both conferences, and that's what it's all about, and that's why you're here.
And you got a couple of teams that don't play on the regular season as well, which often happens when you have different conferences playing each other. You get a team that was at the tournament briefly last year, bumped out by Bangor in Hampden. Lawrence taking a rare year off, so might make for some interesting early game jitters.
But believe me, Mike, these coaches have been around this game long enough to have scouted these teams. In fact, Mike McGee said he's seen Hampden play 4 times, and Andy Frey said he's seen Lawrence play 4 times. So they're well scouted. They know what each other does. It's just a matter of execution and who does what they have in their game plan to the better.
And speaking of the coaches, Tim Throckmorton is with the coaches right now. Tim?
Thanks very much, Mike. And as you mentioned, a tournament without the Lawrence Bulldogs, like a winter without snow. And we got some snow last night. We got Lawrence in here today. Mike, it must have been really hard for your troops to be sitting out last year's tournament.
Well, it was. We learned a lot from it. We learned, first of all, that we don't want to do that again. And we really missed not being here. So we worked extremely hard in the off-season to return to Bangor, and the hard work has paid off for us.
This group of Hampden Broncos is pretty talented as well. Another Big East versus KVAC team matchup. How do you view this game, Mike?
This might, you know, Hampden might be the most talented team in the tournament with Rogerson, Thomas. They got a very good supporting cast. They're very big. It's going to be a very tough game for us today.
Mike, have a good one, okay?
Thank you very much, Tim.
Mike McGee back in the tournament. Andy Frace. Andy, your troops, they came in here last year, first time playing on the floor. They scored 38 points in the game. A tough one for Bangor against Bangor. Feeling a little bit different this year, Andy?
Well, with our record this year and returning starters, I feel a lot more confident we did coming in last year in the 8th spot. You know, the matchup with Lawrence, I think, is a good matchup. We're going to match up size-wise. We're going to try and go inside. They got perimeter shooters. We're just going to come out and play basketball and see what happens.
Mike says, nice little compliment. He says you're one of the best teams around and maybe a team that can win this tournament. Talk about Lawrence. What are their skills?
Lawrence is in your face. Anybody coached by Mike McGee, you know they're going to be in your face, and that's what we expect them. We expect them to be real competitive and hands in the lanes, and we just got to take care of the basketball.
Andy, you got to bump some chest today as well, I guess.
That's it.
Andy Frace, Hampden Academy coach. We're all set for the 4-5 matchup on the boys' side. Back to the auditorium.
The boys' 4-5 matchup in the Class A quarterfinal. Hampden Broncos coming in at 15-3. The number 5 seed Lawrence is also 15-3. The number 4 seed. And we touched upon it briefly in the early part of our telecast here, Tom, about the guard big man combination. Justin Underwood and 6'7" Jed Johnson for Lawrence, and Derek Rogerson and 6'8" Ryan Thomas for Hampden, and I think that'll be a key early on.
You know, we alluded earlier in the pregame when I talked to Mike McGee, Lawrence coach, about this game. He said 2 things keys. Offensively, they've got to make sure that Johnson and Underwood stay involved all the time. And defensively, obviously, they've got to stop Rogerson. They've got to, I don't know if you're going to stop a player of his capability, but you've got to contain him at least and prevent him from exploding. And they've also got to make sure Thomas plays on both ends of the floor. Anytime you see a big kid like that get involved in the game early, as Hampden's going to try to get him involved, if that happens, it could pose problems for Mike McGee. You know, if Andy Price in Hampden, you're looking at offensively, he wants to move the ball, get a lot of ball reversal, but it's going to be awfully tough to do if Lawrence is playing the kind of defense that they're capable of playing. And they can really get in your face and make it a tough thing to move the ball and reverse the ball.
And as a former coach, what difference do you think it makes going from one season to another? Hampden was here in the tournament last year. They played here in the Big East Championship, and Lawrence took a year off. Do you think that makes much of a difference?
Well, it all depends on the kids. I think if you're Hampden, you've been here. Most of the players have been here. Coach Frace, as he mentioned in talking with Tim before the game, said, you know, we're a little less nervous than we were last year. But part of that factor, too, as he mentioned, is that they weren't coming in number 8. I mean, they only scored 38 points in the quarterfinals and got bumped out last year. And that's something, obviously, if they score 38 points today, they're going to get beat. And hopefully for their sake they won't do that. But if you're Lawrence, knowing Coach McGee, and Coach McGee has been here so many different times and done so well so many different times, I think he's going to have his kids ready to play and play hard today.
All right, we'll return to the Bangor Auditorium in 60 seconds.
Penquist, however, has been in coaching for a long time down in South Portland and Western Maine, and really has done a good job of establishing an early tradition at Penquist. But some teams coming in that are going to give them some battles. D'Arrigo and Penquist will both be in action against their opponents tonight, Falmouth and Calais.
And don't forget full details on the earthquake from Channel 5 News right after this game, so stay with us. I didn't feel it, did you?
I was sound asleep.
I did talk to a couple of people that said they felt a little bit of a tremor, but I slept right through it, I guess. But we'll get some details on what that's all about as we see the Lawrence fans dressing for the occasion here, as they always do whenever any of the Lawrence teams come in to this basketball tournament. Of course, we have 6 games tomorrow beginning at shortly after 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's a fun and busy weekend at Class A quarterfinals as we look at first the Hampden coach, and now over at the Lawrence bench as we get ready to meet the players here in just a moment. There's the Lawrence Bulldog. Been waiting to see the Bulldog here. Almost a tradition as well. Now let's go over. Lance Fenimore will introduce the players.
Bulldogs of Lawrence High School. Starting lineup, first from Hampden Academy, head coached by Andy Price. Junior number 5, Josh Quint. Freshman number 12, Justin DeFrederico. The junior number 14, Jason Estes. The senior number 23, Mike Dow. The junior from Hampden Academy is senior 6'8" center, number 50, Ryan Thomas. And from Lawrence High School, a senior 6'7" center, number 32, Jay Johnson. And for Hampden Academy, a senior 6'5" forward, number 52, Josh Dickinson.
Both teams, Tom, start 4 seniors and a junior, so this is a year they would like to get some damage done. And sometimes coming in into the middle of the pack is not a bad place to be in the tournament.
Not at all, especially when you're as talented as both these teams are. And it should be early tournament season jitters for both teams. Possibly, you know, Lawrence hasn't been here for a year. Hampden was here last year. It'll be interesting to see how both teams come out, especially the way Lawrence likes to play that in-your-face defense. And Hampden is certainly going to have to attack that offensively and be successful in doing that if they're going to win the ball game.
Well, both teams have struggled a little bit with inconsistencies too, so on both sides it may be which team shows up tonight, or this afternoon actually. Ryan Thomas, 6'8", in the purple, stepping in. Up against Jed Johnson at 6'7". And we're all set here from the Bangor Auditorium, and the tap is controlled by Lawrence quickly down the middle. The shot is up and in by Justin Underwood.
Go right at you, right off.
That didn't take long for Underwood to score right out of the gate for Lawrence High School. Down underneath the basket. First foul of the game as number 50 Ryan Thomas went to the hoop. And
some good inside play. They tried to get some touches into Thomas's hand early, as we said in pregame. They did, but before getting the shot off, he was fouled.
Not a shooting foul, so Hampden has the ball in bounds. Pass underneath was pretty hard to stop 6'8" Ryan Thomas when he's right underneath the basket.
We saw 2 things that time down. We saw the touches by Thomas right off. We saw the defensive intensity on the part of Lawrence.
And we're all tied up at 2, just underway in the 4-5 quarterfinal matchup in Class A. On the baseline, in traffic underneath Justin Underwood, running into the land of the Giants down there. The ball is knocked out of bounds.
Justin looking for the foul. Official right on top of things.
Lawrence with the basketball. Pretty good defense by Hampden. They force a bad pass inbounds. It's picked off by Hopkins. And on the fast break, it's stolen the other way by Josh Berard. And now Berard will slow it down for his teammates. Out on top is Underwood. Off to Neto. On the right side is Underwood. Dishes off nicely underneath. The shot is missed under there by Johnson. The follow is no good. And Johnson this time with the effort draws the foul.
You can't allow a player of the capability of Jed Johnson, who stands 6'7", to get 3 shots underneath. You really can't allow this to happen. Johnson misses the initial shot, works hard for the board, looks like he gets fouled there, doesn't, gets his board, gets the offensive rebound again, and finally gets fouled from behind. Good work that time by Jed Johnson.
And Jesse McHugh is called for the foul. Each team has 1 now. And the foul shot by Jed Johnson is missed. Jed Johnson, a 6'7" senior. There's Mike McGee kneeling over by the Lawrence bench. He's been here a few times.
Oh, no question about it. Had a lot of success on this floor.
And Johnson unable to connect on either one of them, and the rebound of McHugh for Hampden. McHugh being harassed in the backcourt. And it's off to Hopkins. Hopkins, some daylight dishes off underneath. There's an easy layup for Ryan Thomas.
Boy, that's what they talked about. You get some penetration by your guards, you dish it into Thomas, and watch out.
And Thomas with all 4 of Hampden's points now as they take the lead 4-2. 6:29 to go in the first. Down underneath, Johnson is fouled from behind as he goes to the basket.
You know, on the last Hampden hoop, you get some pretty good penetration on the point that time. And you watch the dish to Thomas here into the big guys. The defender comes over to help. And Thomas laid it in for 2.
And the foul on Jeremy Hopkins of Hampden Academy.
And Lawrence Lawrence looking to go inside again. Johnson's back on the line as he was fouled on the attempt.
And Johnson made his first foul shot. Back to live action. Johnson made his first one. He's 1 for 3 on the line now. And now 2 for 4 for Jed Johnson, and it's a tie ball game with 6:20 to go in the first. Hampden with the basketball. Out front is McHugh, and he'll give it off to Hopkins. Dickinson with it. Now Hopkins on the right side, and the Lawrence foul.
A lot of defensive intensity, Mike, on both ends of the floor, and those bumps are going to get called early in this game. It could be a difference to see who gets in the bonus first.
2 team fouls on each, Hampden and Lawrence now. Hampden with the basketball. It's knocked out of bounds by Justin Underwood, number 12.
He tried to buy a call from the official as Mike McGee looks on.
All right, Hampden with the ball in bounds, and very quickly a foul is called on Josh Gerard.
Hampden coach Andy Frace looking on.
And that's Josh's second, the team's third.
Josh Gerard, that's his second, team's third.
And he'll come out of here, and coming in for Lawrence, number 42, Mike Brown. Brown's a 5'10" junior, and the ball inbounds to Hampden. Hopkins out on top with the basketball. Now dishes down underneath. Nice pass, and there's a layup for Jesse McHugh.
Good interior movement of the ball, and the people without the ball have to move well. That time it succeeded very well for Hampden.
5:50 to go in the first. It's a 6-4 Hampden lead. There's a three-pointer. Put it in the book for Mike Brown.
Off the bench, come in and knock down
Not
3.
bad,
Pretty
huh?
good substitution.
7-6 Lawrence lead. Pull-up jumper on the baseline won't go, and the rebound's pulled down by Dickinson. Clears it out on top. Shot on the go, missed by Hopkins. And now it's a Lawrence rebound, pulled down by Mike Brown. And down the middle, a foul on Hampden.
Last-handed basket. Again, you get anytime you get penetration, whether it's the basketball or the player, a little backdoor cut, some good interior movement that time, and scoring was Jesse McHugh.
Dickinson called for his first, team's third. Each team has committed 3 now with 5:10 to go in the first. Lawrence leading 7-6. Down underneath, the ball gets loose. It's picked off under there by Jesse McHugh, and he gives it off to Hopkins, who brings it into the front court. Now it's Thomas coming out on top. McHugh on the left. Hopkins gives it underneath now to Ryan Thomas, and Thomas now with 6 points in the game.
Thomas doing a good job of moving on the interior. You know, part of the credit has to go to him just to move without the ball.
And Hopkins has 4 assists now in the ball game. On the baseline in traffic, the shot is put up and missed by Underwood. Hampden on the board, and they'll push it up with Hopkins leading the way. And he is fouled by Mike Brown of Lawrence.
Hopkins did a great job there, too, offensively. Again, Hampden getting it inside to the big guy. Thomas in the last possession. A good position. Good turnaround, one-handed by Thomas. Up and in.
First foul on Brown. 4th on Lawrence as a team. And there's Coach Frace on the side.
Coach Frace has been around basketball for a long time.
Hampden underneath their own basket now. Leading 8-7. 4:18 to go in the first. On the right side of Rogerson. Down to Dickinson. Pass in the middle. They get it into the big guy. The fadeaway is off the front of the rim by Thomas. Rebound is up and in. Put it in the book for Jesse McHugh. He's got 4 now.
Boy, right place, right time if you're Jesse McHugh, but it all counts.
And it's 10-7 Hampden. 3:52 to go in the first. Out on top is Underwood with the basketball, and he'll try to find daylight, and down the right side of the lane. A foul on Hampden.
Last Hampden possession is a turnaround shot by Thomas. He missed, and the rebound, some good positioning by McHugh. He was at the right place at the right time and got the easy one to go.
And Hopkins picks up foul number 2 for Hampden. That's the 4th on the team. On the foul line, Justin Underwood, the 6-foot senior, shooting 2. And he now has 3 points.
You know, we talked, Mike, about McHugh being in the right place at the right time, and that's to his credit because you obviously aren't as good as a McHugh is without knowing where to be.
Adam Russell checking into the game for Hampden, replacing Josh Dickinson. And Underwood's second foul shot is good. He makes them both, has 4 points in the game. It's a 1-point ball game. Hampden with the lead. And to the basket is Rogerson with a miss. The rebound pulled down by Lawrence. Matt Clement is in the game now. Matt Clement checking in at a 6'5 junior. Nice pass underneath. Underwood to Johnson. And Johnson has 4.
Well, that was a tough shot by Johnson. Triple teamed inside and still got it to go.
Underwood did a good job to get the ball to him in traffic in the middle of the lane. Hopkins on the right side. Fade away. Air ball. Picked off underneath here on the board by Jed Johnson.
Again, some good interior movement. They get it inside of the big guy, Johnson. You see, he gets double teamed, and then they try to get some help, and it doesn't work. Johnson gets the 2 to go off the glass.
And the ball comes in bounds for Hampden. From underneath the basket on the left side is Derek Rogerson. Quickly out on top, he goes to McHugh. McHugh yelling out some instructions to his teammates. Off on the right side to Hopkins. Down low to the big guy. Thomas, ball gets loose, fired up on the right side by Adam Russell. Is no good. Now here come the Lawrence Bulldogs, leading 11 to 10 now, down the middle. Underwood has it stripped away under there. And Rogerson with it for the Hampden Broncos. Rogerson at the foul line. Comes up short. And the rebound to Clement for Lawrence. 2:10 to go in the first. Lawrence with a 1-point lead. Mike Brown with the basketball. Down the middle, misses the shot, and the board comes to Johnson for 2.
Up over Thomas inside.
Johnson with 6. Johnson with 5 rebounds, too. There's a steal by Johnson, and he twists his ankle. Johnson limping now as he twisted his ankle. And the foul called on Hampden.
Foul number 50, Ryan Thomas. That's his first team.
Thomas with his first. That's number 5 on Hampden as a team. And Jed Johnson going back to the foul line. And he is 2 for 4. 5 team fouls on Hampden and 4 on Lawrence.
Still a little tender as Johnson's out there half court. Trying to shake this off as a 6'7" senior.
Jed Johnson with his 5th trip to the foul line now, or at least his 5th shot, his 3rd trip. And he doesn't get that friendly bounce here at the auditorium. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And number 22, Alan Smith, into the game for Lawrence. Going out is Underwood. And Johnson gets 1 out of 2 this time around. And he's 3 for 6. And Johnson will come out of the game, and they'll check out that tender ankle of his. And into the game, trapped in Teague. And on the steal by Lawrence, a foul on Hampden. There is Mike McGee reacting.
I tell you, you see the inbounds pass by Russell. He just got a little overzealous and thought that he was going to get the 5-second count. And we're going to go to a timeout here with 1:43 remaining.
And we'll be right back in 30 seconds. Bounds offense.
The scrum.
All right, McHugh's put it in underneath. Thomas is fouled.
Well, there was a big surprise.
Yeah.
After looking at that scrum, it wasn't any surprise to anybody in the building where the ball was going to go. You know, no question they were going to go inside to Thomas, and they did. Thomas gave it a good look, and he was fouled.
And his,
Matt Clement.
yeah, they came in off the bench. That's his first 5th team foul. And with Thomas, his first trip to the foul line, he makes the first one. He's got 7 points now. Brian Thomas, a 6'8" senior. And he gets them both. He shows us he can shoot foul shots too. 8 points for Thomas, and it's a 4-point lead for Lawrence with 1:30 to go in the first quarter. And with the ball for Lawrence out front is Kent. John Kent in the game now, number 20. And the other guard is Alan Smith. Mike Brown with the basketball. In the middle to Teague, and quickly back out on top with 1:10 to go in the first. And now it's Smith. Kent with the ball will give it back on the left side to Smith. As we wind down towards the end of the first quarter, it's a 4-point lead for Lawrence. And they may be going for the last shot of the first quarter. Pass in the lane is knocked loose. Coming out with it is Rogerson. 2-on-1 fast break. Rogerson misses the layup. He gets his own rebound, though. Nice hustle from the left of the foul line. It comes up short. And Rogerson is cold right now.
He's getting some good looks at the basket, but he's still cold. He's 0 for 5 from the floor.
20 seconds remaining in the first. On the right side, it's going to be missed by Alan Smith. And on the rebound is Hampden Ball. Smith, number 22.
Hampden coach Andy Frace saying 1 shot with only 13 seconds remaining.
And there's a bump and a foul at midcourt. It's against Mike Brown of Lawrence, number 42. That's his second. And it's number 6 on the team, so both teams are within 1 foul of being in the bonus now. And the ball will be put in right in front of us here near the mid-floor with 11 seconds on the clock. Hopkins with the basketball. On the left side makes a nice pass to Ryan Thomas, and Thomas scores his 10th point of the game. And that'll do it at the end of the first quarter. The 2-point lead for Lawrence. And we'll be right back after this. Basketball down the middle. His shot is blocked by Ryan Thomas, and Hampden on the run of Rogerson with his first basket of the game, and it's important for Hampden that Rogerson score.
No question. If you're Andy Frace, you've got to feel good. You're tied, and Rogerson just got his first basket.
And he's been leading the offense all year for Hampden Academy. Deep in the left corner, Justin Underwood in and out on the 3-point attempt, and the board pulled down by Adam Russell of Hampden. Now here's Rogerson. He's only a junior. Down the middle, it's knocked loose under there. Hampden comes up with a loose ball as Nick Baldock had knocked it loose. And now it's Hopkins down the middle. Oh! Goaltending, which way is it going to go?
Good call, good call. It's actually, ball was on the basket or in the cylinder. You can't touch the ball, and that's what happened. You'll see. As the shot looked like it was going to fall anyway. On the drive by Hopkins, you'll see it come off. The shot looked like it might have fallen anyway, and Hopkins, excuse me, not Hopkins, but Thomas tried to slam it down, did, but touched the ball.
And now Hampden comes back with the basketball off the Lawrence miss. And Derek Rogerson out on the point. Down to Russell on the baseline. Russell in traffic will miss it, and the rebound pulled out of there by Trafton Teague of Lawrence. Baldock on the left side. Nice pass as he spots Jed Johnson open on the weak side.
Johnson did a nice job, made a little cut to an open area and got an open shot from underneath.
Johnson with 9 points in the game. And it's 18-16 Lawrence with 6 minutes to go in the first half. On the baseline, a little double pump move for Adam Russell, and he gets the basket.
See Andy Frace over on the Hampden bench instructing Thomas to stay back, make sure he has an idea what Johnson is at all times.
And now 6 assists for Hopkins. And we're tied at 18. The 4-5 quarterfinal matchup between Lawrence and Hampden. Underwood on the left side. In the middle. The shot is good for 2. It's Crafton Teague with his first basket of the game. And it's 20-18 Lawrence. Hopkins down the middle had decided to pass, but as he drove down the right side of the lane, he draws the foul. And that will put it in the bonus now with the 7th team foul on Lawrence.
Lawrence foul, number 40, Crafton Teague. That's his first, team 7.
And Teague picks up his first.
Hopkins at the line to shoot 2 shots.
Hopkins, the 5'11 senior, at the line to shoot a pair.
There's
friendly bounce.
There's your shooter's bounce.
The other end, that's why.
Maybe that's it. And into the game for Lawrence, we have Josh Berard back in there. And also Randy Neto returns. And both foul shots by Hopkins good, and the game is tied at 20 with 5:15 to go in the first half.
Very tough physical game, both ends of the floor. A lot of hard-nosed defense.
Josh Berard with it off to Baldock. Quickly on the left side, Underwood. Dishes off to Johnson for 2, and he's fouled. That's what we talked about at the beginning, was the combination of Underwood and Johnson working together.
Right on cue. You're going to see just a little bit of penetration that's going to create the opening. Nice dish to Johnson inside. He lays it in for 2, and he's going to the line again.
Checking back in for Hampden, number 24, Jeff.
He's got 11 points and now 5 rebounds in the game on top of that. Foul on Russell, his second for Hampden, and both teams with 7 now, so it's bonus time on both ends of the floor. In and out. And the rebound kicked around. Loose ball picked up by Lawrence. Underwood quickly off to Neto. Now it's Baldock. Berard with the basketball. Dishes in the lane. Pass intended for Neto. Knocked loose, but Neto will come up with it after all. And he brings a dangerous pass out front that Nick Baldock just barely caught up with. So Lawrence being patient and working the play, looking for the best shot here.
One of the reasons that's happening, Mike, is Hampden has zoned it up a little bit more this quarter than they did in the first quarter. A lot of man-to-man in the first quarter, more zone this quarter by Hampden.
4:10 to go in the first half. It's 22-20. Lawrence with the lead and the basketball. Underwood has it right now. Gives off to number 10, Baldock. Now it's Neto and Underwood.
Underwood, a very familiar name to Eastern Maine basketball fans. Dad Chuck Underwood was a long-time Eastern Maine basketball coach.
And the travel as Josh Berard shuffled his feet. And that's 5 turnovers now for Lawrence.
Mike McGee not happy with that one. Coming back into the ball game for Lawrence now is going to be Mike Brown.
He did a nice job off the bench earlier in the game in the first quarter. He got a 3-pointer and 2 foul shots and dished off an assist. Jeremy Hopkins for Hampden. And we have the player control foul called against Hopkins. And that is his 3rd foul.
I don't think Andy Frace, Hampden head coach, agreed with that one, but it looked like he pushed away with his left hand, trying to create an opening to dish it inside.
That's number 3 on Hopkins. And the 8th on Hampden as a team. Lawrence with the ball and a 2-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. And Justin Underwood back out on the point again. Penetrates down the middle. And he was intimidated a bit under there by Ryan Thomas. And the other way, the shot is missed, but the follow is good by number 52, Dickinson.
Rogerson was in the right place at the right time on the board, Mike, and got it off the miss.
Johnson with a board. He's blocked and fouled under there by Clement.
You're going to see a good block here in the first, off the glass. And that started the Hampden fast break that resulted in the Rogerson basket.
And Johnson is back on the foul line. The foul committed by Thomas of Hampden. That's his second. And Johnson.
For Hampden, number 52, Josh Dickinson. And for Lawrence, number 20.
And Dickinson is back in the game.
You know, Mike, with both teams playing up-tempo defensively, in-your-face defense really is going to be key to this game, especially in the last 2:53, who gets in foul trouble and who doesn't.
Johnson getting both foul shots, and now a whistle. Touching the ball, so I guess a warning afterwards to leave the ball alone. $13 points for Johnson now, by the way, after that last foul shot. And it's 24-22 Lawrence with 2:44 to go in the first half. On the baseline, the shot is missed by McHugh, and they'll only get one shot as Jed Johnson pulls down the rebound. Now with 6. And Lawrence with a one-basket lead as we work our way toward halftime. Underwood kicks it back out on top now. Kent with the basketball. On the left side, Brown. Brown is fouled from behind by Rogerson, number 15, and that's his first. And 9th on the team.
You're going to have fouls like that, Mike, when you try to create off your defense, which Rogerson's trying to do. He's trying to slap the ball loose, create a fast break for Hampden, and that time he's called for the personal foul.
And Mike Brown stepping up to the foul line. He'll shoot 2. Brown is now 3 for 3 on the line and has 6 points in the game. Number 50, Matt Clement checks back in, going out. 52, Randy Neto for Lawrence.
Mike Brown has done a nice job off the bench for Mike McGee.
And he's forced 4 now. It's a 4-point lead for Lawrence, 26-22 with 2:10 to go in the first half. And it's Derek Rogerson with the ball for Hampden.
2 minutes to remain in the first half.
Rogerson trying to penetrate on the baseline, shoots on the run, doesn't get it. And the foul on Lawrence.
John Kent's called for the personal foul there after the shot, I believe. Still going to go to the line is Derek Rogerson.
Number 20, John Kemp. That's his first, team's 8. Derek Rogerson at the line.
That's the 8th team foul, and Derek Rogerson, 6'1" junior, steps to the line for the first time tonight to shoot 1 and 1. Oh, they got him shooting 2.
Double bonus.
There we go.
Hampden is now 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Lawrence, thus far, is 12 for 15.
Rogerson gets 1 out of 2. He's got 5 points now. Lawrence on the rebound. A minute 50 to go in the half. It's 26-23. Lawrence leading Hampden. Lawrence, the number 4 seed in the Class A tournament. Hampden, number 5, as we open the quarterfinals this afternoon. Earlier on, the Gardner girls came up with a win over Presque Isle as Lawrence turns it over.
Derek Rogerson offensively for Hampden right now is trying to create all he can to try to get some involvement in the offense for himself and thus help his team come back from this minor deficit.
Rogerson guarded by Kent as he brings it into the front court. Russell off to McHugh. McHugh tries to give it to Rogerson. It gets away and is picked up by Matt Clement. Here comes Lawrence now. Underwood on the left side. Brings it out on top now to Mike Brown. Brown quickly on the right to Underwood. Underwood dishes to Johnson underneath. Johnson attempts the scoop shot, draws the foul.
I'll tell you, the whole play there was the penetration. The defense went to the penetrator, and that's the easy dish.
That's his second.
And going to the foul line for the, what seems like forever. He's lived there in the first half is Jed Johnson. Big center for Coach Mike McGee and the Lawrence Bulldogs.
Foul on McHugh is his second. He's 5 for 8 on the line in this one. $14 points for Johnson as well as he attempts his second foul shot. And he gets them both. He's got 5 in a row now. And the biggest lead in the game is 5 points. And a foul is called immediately as Hampden puts the ball in bounds. It's against Lawrence. It's the 9th team foul.
John Kent's going to pick up the personal foul. Again, that comes from that pressure defense, full court, really in-your-face defense, and that's causing some problems.
That's a second on Kent. 9th team foul on Lawrence, and Rogerson will go to the line, shoot 1 and 1. And Derek gets the first one. 6 points right now for Rogerson. All in the second quarter. Misses the second one. High in the air for the rebound is Matt Clement, a 6'5" junior for Lawrence. And now under a minute to go in the first half. Lawrence by 4, and they have the ball. John Kent off to Justin Underwood. Now back to Kent. Clement with it up high. Goes down low to Johnson, and it's knocked out of bounds by Hampden. Lawrence ball underneath their own basket.
Both teams still trying to go inside. This time Lawrence tried to get it inside to Johnson. Had the ball knocked away. However, they do retain it.
Well, both teams are strong underneath, so that's not a bad move. Crafton Teague is back in the game to replace Clement for Lawrence. Almost halftime. Lawrence by 4. 3-point attempt on the right side, missed by John Kent. Now here comes Hampden. There's a collision. And the basket went in, but will not count. Jason Estes came in a moment ago, and he's called for the player control foul.
You could see that coming from our angle. There's no question. Fans on our side don't quite agree with that call, but I think it was a good call. You could see that coming.
34 seconds remaining in the half. Lawrence by 4. Number 10, Nick Balduck, getting ready to put the ball in bounds. And he does to Justin Underwood. Balduck down in the corner. It goes to Brown. Back out on top to Underwood. We got 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Down low on the baseline. Johnson.
They went up over Thomas. They isolated him one-on-one, and this time Johnson got it to go.
6-point lead for Lawrence. Rogerson has it stripped away. Stolen away by Underwood. Underwood to the basket with a layup. Underwood with 6 now, and time runs out for Hampden. And Lawrence goes into the locker room with an 8-point lead and the momentum at halftime against Hampden. And we'll return to halftime with Tim Throckmorton right after this.
Back, a little bit of a run by the Lawrence Bulldogs at the end of the half, and they have an 8-point lead over the Hampden Academy Broncos in the 4-5 matchup. Earlier this afternoon, we had the first girls game in the Class A tournament, and it was won by Gardner over Presque Isle, despite the effort by Brianna Blanchard at 25. Later on tonight, well, Jim DeFrederico will be coaching that team, and Jim DeFrederico, the name DeFrederico, synonymous with high school basketball in the state of Maine, but Jim's got a little bit of a tough call to make after this season. His son Justin, of course, on this Hampden Academy team, and Jim trying to decide whether he wants to keep coaching at Nokomis after this season or maybe be a spectator.
Well,
Well, yeah, without a question right now, I have a decision to make, and I'll probably either make that before the end of the school year, or I'll kind of ponder it over the summer. I'm not really sure, but yeah, my son playing for Hampden, and I've got to take and make a decision on what I'm going to do with him right now to talk him into coming out to Nokomis, and we've kind of played that game, but he's really happy with what's going on where he is right now. He's got a great group of kids and a coaching staff there that's doing a great job. So I'm happy for him, and he's really enjoying it. And it's been difficult, especially the last 2 games that we've had with him. That last one was not easy.
You've got certainly basketball in your blood, with your long line of basketball in your family, coaching and refereeing and the whole bit. You've got a decision to make, which would maybe take you out of basketball. How tough is that going to be for you?
Well, it's going to kill me, I think. Really, because it has been. That's been in our blood, and I've done it for 18 years. And I can't imagine what it would be like without it right now. That's why it's been difficult to this point, and I'm not really sure how I will react to it.
Acadia Hearing Center, along with Bangor Ear Nose.
The 4-5 boys matchup in Class A. Lawrence leading Hampden 32-24. Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you, Tom, and there's some interesting stats at the half between Lawrence and Hampden.
There definitely are some interesting stats. Field goal percentage, obviously very even at 33% apiece. Lawrence getting some more free throw attempts, getting 17, converting on 13. Both shooting pretty good and pretty similar to the free throw line, 75 to 76. Rebounds, obviously even, so it's an even game. I think the story right now is Derek Rogerson. He only has 6 points. He tried in the second quarter to create a little bit more offensively. He needs to get more involved in the offense if Hampden's going to come back from this 8-point deficit.
And Johnson leading Lawrence with 17 points. They've been working him hard, posting him up. He's 7 for 10 on the foul line. So he's been challenged by the defense and hitting most of his foul shots. Got 7 points from Brown, 6 from Underwood, and 2 from Teague for Lawrence for Hampden Academy. Pretty well balanced. 10 from their big guy, Thomas. They got 6 from Rogerson, as you mentioned. Also 4 from McHugh, 2 each from Hopkins and Russell, and we're ready for the second half. Hampden with the basketball. And on the left side is McHugh. He quickly gives it down underneath to Thomas, and that brings a quick whistle here in the second half.
I think Andy Fraser is going to approve of that call. Johnson was caught from behind, being a little too physical in the post defense area.
So Johnson with the first foul of the second half. Hampden with the ball under their basket as McHugh puts it in bounds to Rogerson on the left side. Rogerson baseline on the go, and a collision, a blocking foul on Lawrence. And it's against Underwood. That's his first.
Lawrence foul on number 12, Justin Underwood. That's his first, team second.
And Derek Rogerson
at the
on the foul line. His second trip to the line. He's 2 for 4 in the first half. Derek Rogerson, the 6'1" junior.
I like this, Mike. Right on cue, Rogerson is already creating, just 11 seconds into the second half, an offensive try for himself, and it resulted in at least one made free throw, and now possibly another.
I'm sure they talked about that at halftime with Coach Frace. And again, 1 out of 2. 3 trips to the foul line, and each time Rogerson has made 1 out of 2. And it's 32-25 Lawrence early in the third quarter. Underwood with the basketball for Lawrence. Down the middle, tries to dish it off underneath to Johnson, but is stripped away under there by Hampden. And Hopkins with the basketball, quickly off to Dickinson. Dickinson in the middle, Thomas with a miss. And it will go the other way for Lawrence. Basketball, Josh Berard, the 5A junior, slowly dribbling up. He's met at midcourt by Jeremy Hopkins. Now it's Baldock, and it's stolen away by Hopkins. Hopkins now fouled by Berard, and that is his third.
Boy, that's key too, because he is so quick defensively, especially his hands are so active defensively that it provides Hampden a lot of problems in that defensive set.
Checking into Lawrence.
7:01 to go in the third. Is 32-25, a 7-point lead for Lawrence. And coming in for Lawrence to replace Bernard, Mike Brown. And the shot is missed from the right side, but there's the board. Thomas with the board off the miss from McHugh.
Boy, some great position by Thomas off the offensive glass. Got the easy, too.
Thomas now with 12. Randy Neto. Down the middle, Underwood on the go. Doesn't get the bounce. The board is pulled down by Derek Rogerson. And on the right side is Hopkins. Dished off underneath. Nice pass, and there's the basket for Ryan Thomas. He's got 14 now, and a timeout is called by Lawrence.
Some good interior movement. They're looking at Thomas, and you can't let Ryan Thomas get this open inside. He's just too good to give him that kind of look.
And we'll be right back. Holding on to that lead, but Hampden making a run at it again here early in the third quarter. Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Class A tournament here on Channel 5. Don't forget, it's Class C state championship action on Channel 5 at 7:30 tonight. All right, Lawrence with the basketball. Underwood down the middle. The dish off underneath is lost out of bounds by Lawrence. It's Hampden ball.
What I like right now, Mike, if you're Hampden, you're playing some pretty good defense, especially in the interior. A turnover this time, a turnover the time before, and you get some chances to get back into this one.
All right, into the front court. McHugh down the sideline. Out on top to Hopkins. Hopkins with a nice pass to Rogerson underneath for 2. Rogerson with 8 now.
Another adjustment that Andy Frace must have made at halftime, moving Rogerson away from handling the basketball as much, giving him a chance to move without the ball.
Rogerson nearly steals the ball. Now it's loose on the floor. It'll be tied up, and the arrow will give it to Hampden.
Watch the movement this time off the penetration. The movement by Rogerson, baseline right here. Nice little backdoor cut. Lays up off the glass and in for an easy 2.
And it's back to a 1-point ball game. Coach Mike McGee. Lawrence with the ball and a 1-point lead. Nice dish off underneath. Johnson with a miss. Johnson with a follow. He misses again. The rebound, Ryan Thomas, the 6'8" senior for Hampden. Jesse McHugh gives it off to Jeremy Hopkins. Hopkins out on the point now. Guarded closely by Alan Smith, who steals the ball. And it's tied up. And timeout is called by Lawrence. Lawrence with the timeout, 5:23 to go in the third.
Only a 1-point game now, Mike, and this is interesting because that was a pretty good defensive effort that time. And you question whether you should call the timeout or not at this point. You know, every possession in a 1-point ball game is important.
And Lawrence yet to score here in the second half. Smith with the basketball. Off to Kent. And down underneath. They try to get something going. Mike Brown back out front. Rogerson with the steal. Rogerson with a layup.
Boy, great anticipation that time on the weak side by Derek Rogerson. Get out in front of the ball. Got the easy 2 off the steal.
And he's got 11 now, and Hampden is on a run. They've come back to take the lead after trailing 32-24 at the half. Hampden is leading 33-32 with 4:44 to go in the third. And now the steal by Thomas and the foul on Smith. Smith with his first foul, the 4th on the team. 4 straight turnovers for Lawrence.
Lawrence foul number 22, Alan Smith.
Pretty good foul there, really, by Smith, because otherwise Hampden has the open layup, and they go ahead by as many as 5.
And
as many as 3, excuse me.
4 team fouls on Lawrence. Hampden has yet to commit a foul here in the second half. Hopkins dishes off to Thomas, and Thomas with the layup. He's got 16 points.
Well, I tell you, he really opened the game up hard. Now he's opening the third quarter up very, very well. for the Hampden Broncos.
11-0 run for Hampden here in the second half as Underwood finally breaks the ice with his 7th and 8th points of the game.
And 2 easy points they were not, as he had to get it up over Thomas.
And it's 35-34 Hampden, 4:09 to go in the third. Rogerson, right of the lane. The pull-up is good for 2.
You can almost sense him, Mike, starting to get a feel for this one. And if he does, we're just a little bit over halfway through the third period. Watch out.
On the assist from Hopkins, and Hopkins with 8 assists in the game now. Rogerson with 13 points. Deep in the left corner. Put it in the book. Number 22, Alan Smith. Smith's first basket is a 3, is about as deep as you can get over there as he fades away out of bounds.
One of the places you want to attack the kind of a zone that Hampden is currently playing is on the baseline, and that's what they did there and came up with a big 3.
Ties the game at 37. Thomas misses the layup. Rebound Johnson for Lawrence. On the left side, Smith with the miss, with the follow, and the foul on Hampden.
And the foul on number 24, Jesse McHugh. That's his 3rd.
McHugh picking up number 3, and that's the first foul in the second half on Hampden.
Shoot 2 shots.
Adam Russell getting ready to check in for Coach Andy Frace and the Hampden Broncos.
Jed Johnson with 11 rebounds as he steps up to the foul line. 17 points in the game. He's 7 for 10 on the foul line as he attempts the first of 2 here.
Also, Owen Karen getting ready to check in for Hampden.
And 6 in a row for Johnson. 18 points now to go along with those 11 rebounds. Jed Johnson, the 6'7" senior. And Johnson continues to shoot outstanding from the foul line. And it's 39-37. Lawrence grabs the lead back. 3:13 to go in the third. But Hopkins being harassed out front, takes it down the middle. Strong move to the basket by Hopkins. And a foul on Lawrence.
You just get the sense, Mike, that this one's going to go, as you see Hopkins penetrating here.
Lawrence
Foul on the block, as he couldn't quite get the left-hand layup to go, but he's going to the line to shoot 2. Do you get the sense that this is going right down to the wire?
4-5 matchup. Looking like a 4-5 matchup.
I'm not even going to bring a game up in Portland for quite a few years. I'm not even going to bring that up.
Oh, we have to. Hopkins is 2 for 2 on the line, and now 3 for 3. The foul on Smith, his 2nd and the 5th on the team for Lawrence. Jeremy Hopkins, a 5'11" senior, is 4 for 4 on the line now, and that's all 4 of his points in the game. We're tied at 39, 3 minutes to go in the third. All I need to say is Bangor, Portland, 5 overtime several years ago.
Southport.
Southport.
Mark Reed and John Wassenberg, the 2 key names in that one. In fact, Mark Reed, who now coaches at Brewer, great addition to the Brewer coaching staff. And I was talking about that.
Rogerson tries to steal and commits a foul. That's his 2nd.
And the foul on number 15,
You know, 2 veteran coaches like Andy Frace and Mike McGee. Mike, this game may come down to the subtle adjustments that one of them makes and creates a few offensive or defensive chances for their team, and that may be the difference in the ballgame.
Underwood gets the inbounds pass. Pull-up jumper is partially blocked on the right side. Underneath, Thomas with the board for Hampden. And Hampden trying to set something up. They get it into the hands of Hopkins, who makes the nice pass to Thomas. Thomas over Johnson, missing the shot. Johnson with a rebound.
The thing that Johnson did there, Mike, is he got Thomas to go a little bit deeper inside than he could. He wasn't able to use the glass that time.
And Smith off to Kent. Kent with a bounce pass to Teague, and Teague looking for someone. Takes it down the middle, takes a shot, is blocked under there by Russell. And the loose ball picked up by Teague of Lawrence. Out to Underwood. Underwood off on the left side. The three-point attempt is good. Number 22.
Well, you can see that coming off the penetration by Underwood. Wide open on the left-hand side, hit the easy two.
Smith with 2 3-pointers in the game now, both from that same spot on the left side. Stolen away underneath now by Kent of Lawrence. Nice pass down underneath, but it can't be handled by Smith. And Hampden comes up with it. Big Thomas in there, 6'8", making his presence known.
Andy Fraser across the way, telling his troops to settle down, run your offense.
Yeah,
Lawrence back in a man-to-man now.
Minute 5 to go in the third. It's a 3-point lead for Lawrence. And a foul on Hampden. Rogerson picks up his third. Number 15, Rogerson. His third and the team's third. And Brown is in the game. Neto is also in the game for Lawrence. And with a minute 1 to go in the third, it's a 3-point lead for Lawrence, 42-39.
Josh Dickinson.
Q and Dickinson get ready to check in for Hampden. They're going to replace Owen Karen and Adam Russell.
Under a minute to go in the third. Lawrence with a 3-point lead and the basketball. Brown has it. Now it's Kent. Kent off on the left to Brown. Brown quickly back out to Kent. On the right side, Underwood open on the baseline. Comes up short off the side of the rim. The rebound follow, though. Neto with his first basket of the game.
Great up fake by Neto, and that's what got him the open chance.
And it's a 5-point lead for Lawrence. 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Hopkins strong to the basket, misses the layup. Rebound. Clement for Lawrence. And the last shot of the quarter coming up for Lawrence. Underwood. Underwood tries a three, misses off the back of the iron. And the rebound at the buzzer is blocked. Clement put it up, it was blocked by Thomas, and that'll do it. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this. We'll have full details from Channel 5 News on a little bit of an earthquake that rumbled through central Maine today and parts of eastern Maine. So stay tuned for your local news coming right up. As we head into the fourth quarter, Lawrence 44, Hampden 39, and Hampden will start the quarter off with a possession. Hopkins makes a nice move on the baseline, and he's got 6 points now.
Good penetration by Hopkins there, the easy two, and they pulled it within 3.
And there's a scoop shot attempt the other way by John Kent. And now Hampden with a fast break. The shot is missed. The layup off balance. Jesse McHugh couldn't convert. So both coaches scratching their head on missed shots here.
Well, we talked about each possession being a key in a 3-point ball game. 7:15 left in the quarterfinals. You want to value each possession.
And you're going to have those easy layups. 3-point attempt right side comes up short by Alan Smith. Neto with a rebound underneath Smith, blocked by Thomas.
I don't think so, said Mr. Thomas. Not my house. Just a great block. The rebound, actually, good job of following your shot inside that time by Smith. And he tried to get the up fake, and Thomas says, I don't think so. You're not going to do it here.
Underwood with a quick 3 attempt from the right side. It's missed. Thomas on the rebound, and then Thomas is fouled by Lawrence.
With an aggressive team like Lawrence, especially defensively, Mike, they try to dig in the post, and what I mean by that is just rebound range down the ball, try to get your hands on. This time they call for a personal foul.
Neto is called for his second, number 6 on Lawrence as a team. Hampden will bring it up against the low full court pressure. Jeremy Hopkins with the basketball, guarded by Justin Underwood. Hopkins dishes off left side. Jason Estes will miss it. Thomas with a rebound. And he's tied up underneath, and the arrow gives it to Lawrence. Lawrence basketball. Nice defense by the Bulldogs.
Good interior defense. Andy Freitas and Sean Kimball, one of the officials, talking that over.
6:45 to go in the game. It's Lawrence 44, Hampden 41. And Lawrence in the white with the basketball. Underwood down the middle in traffic. Off balance, gets the shot. Tough shot for Underwood. He's got 10 points now.
He almost lost that on the way up. He's very fortunate to get that one to go.
It's a 5-point lead for Lawrence. 6:20 to go. Hopkins has it nearly stolen by Underwood. Off to Estes on the left. Estes looking down low. Hopkins. And the foul on Underwood. And that's his second. Team 7. So I think we'll have bonus foul shots coming up, and we will.
It's his second, team 7. Checking in for Lawrence, number 42, Mike Brown.
And going to the foul line, Jeremy Hopkins shooting 1 and 1.
The interesting thing there, Mike, is that Hampden has only committed 3 personal fouls thus far. And that may come down to be a difference in this one.
Very well could be. The foul shot is missed. Hopkins was 4 for 4 before he missed that. He also has 8 assists in the game, so he's doing a lot of things right now for Hampden Academy. Neto out to Underwood. Now it's Mike Brown with the basketball, handing it off to Underwood. 5:45 to go in the game. Lawrence with the basketball. They lead by 5. 46-41. Underwood down the middle in traffic and is tapped up underneath. Who was that? Baldock?
I think it was Baldock.
I think Baldock tipped it in. Now it's stolen away by Lawrence. They have a 7-point lead with 5:24 to go. Mike Brown out to Nick Baldock. Baldock down the middle, loses the handle, tries to dish it off, but he travels before he gets it off to Johnson.
You made a good point, too. He did lose the handle. And one of the things that Lawrence is getting right now, and you can see Underwood penetrating, throws up the shot, and gets a tip in from the weak side.
Yep, it was Baldock. Timeout is called with 5:08 to go. We'll be right back. Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you. 5:08 to go in this one, and it's 48-41. Lawrence is leading Hampden. However, Hampden is shooting some foul shots here. Maybe they can make the difference down the road. We'll see, and Hampden will bring the ball up. But Hampden is shooting 1 and 1, where Lawrence is not.
No question. With 5:08 remaining, they've got to convert on those. That's the key right now.
We'll see what Hampden does. Down by 7. Hopkins, who's having a really good ball game here, defensively and assisting, passing the ball off. Rogerson with the basketball on the right side. Rogerson off the glass for 2.
Boy, pretty good defensive effort that time, too, by the Bulldogs. Good team defense, and Rogerson still got it to go.
Rogerson with 15 points in the game. 5-point lead for Lawrence. 4:35 to go. It's the 4-5 matchup. Lawrence number 4, Hampden number 5 in this quarterfinal game. Down underneath, Johnson, who's been really quiet for a while, now has 21 points.
Johnson did a great job at creating some space and got the lob pass over the top and got the easy 2.
Hampden's done a good job on him. He had 17 in the first half, 24 in the second half. Hopkins driving and drawing the foul. There's Mike McGee.
Doing a nice job inside, creating some space there. You can see Johnson has the ball come over the top of Thomas, laid it up, and got the roll.
And the foul on number 50, Ryan Thomas. That's his third, team 4. Checking in for Hampden, number 45, Adam Russell.
Josh Berard getting ready to check back in.
Josh Berard.
And Thomas picking up his 3rd foul, so it actually went against Hampden as Hopkins drove down the middle. The foul was away from the play on Thomas. His 3rd, team's 4. Underwood on the right side makes a nice dish off. Knocked loose, though, when Johnson had the ball. It was knocked loose from behind. Lawrence keeps it. Pass down underneath. Neto to Johnson, and Johnson scored.
Again, creating the same kind of space they created last time down. Same opportunity, laid it in for 2 again.
9-point lead for Lawrence. 3:40 to go. Hampden has to get some offense now. Hopkins tries to dish it off, and an underhand pass to Rogerson. Loose ball is taken away by Underwood, and now the foul is called on Hopkins of Hampden Academy.
And the foul on number 20, Jeremy Hopkins. That's his 4th team.
Again, the same thing as the last time we talked on replay. Creating some good space. Got the lob pass. Johnson got it to go for 2.
And Hopkins picks up his 4th personal. That's 5th on Hampden.
Just if I'm Lawrence right now, Mike, I go to the same offensive set and see if we can get it to go inside.
Biggest lead of the game is 9 points for Lawrence, 52-43 with just 3:25 to go. And the timeout is called by Underwood of Lawrence.
Calls timeout.
With 3:23 to go, Lawrence wants a timeout.
22nd timeout.
And it's a short timeout, so we'll keep it right here.
You know, one of the things, Mike, that they've done offensively, Lawrence, is they've moved their offensive set a little bit higher than what they had it earlier, and that's what's given Johnson a little bit more room to work inside. The other thing that I like, if I'm Mike McGee, is my interior defense is a lot better right now than it was early. We talked about Hampden coming out in the second half, having great interior defense. Now it's Lawrence's turn, and right now it's gotten them a 9-point lead.
Lawrence with the lead and the basketball. They called the timeout. Underwood on the baseline makes the nice dish out to Johnson. And how many times have they done that this year?
Boy, penetrate and dish. And anytime you have a guard that will penetrate like that, you create so many offensive chances for yourself.
Johnson with 25 now. And on the other end, Thomas trying to penetrate in the middle of the lane. Foul against Lawrence. That's their 8th team foul.
Lawrence foul on number 12, Justin Underwood.
Well, it's going to drive Coach McGee nuts because you certainly don't want to put Hampden on the line with a chance to shoot free throws. When you're up 11 points, chance to score points without any time going off the clock, really in this situation is going to drive a coach crazy.
Foul on Underwood is his 3rd. It's the 5th on Hampden, or rather on Lawrence. And the 1-and-1 foul attempt is missed by Thomas. And now a foul is called against Hampden in the backcourt as Rogerson picks up his 4th.
I still think that's a pretty good foul. If you're Hampden, you're down 11, only 2:59 remaining. You're still not in the bonus. If you're Lawrence, you've got to defensively get in the bonus if you're Hampden.
That's number 6 on Hampden. Rogerson, though, picked up his 4th. Berard with the basketball. And away from the action, a foul is called, the 5th foul on Hopkins. Hopkins has fouled out of the game with 2:50 to go.
A lot of pushing going on both ways away from the ball, as you mentioned.
That's what Hopkins is saying. He says it's going both ways. Why me? And he's upset as he leaves the game. And we'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back.
The people at Hammond Lumber Company celebrate the spirit of Maine basketball and all that it represents. Personal determination, team cooperation, the confidence that comes with success, and the pure joy of playing the game. Thank you for your support of Maine kids like these and Maine companies like...
50 to go in the game. It's a 54-43 Lawrence lead over Hampden. Mike Hale, John Winston with you for this one. And it's been a good 4th quarter for Lawrence.
Certainly has, and both ends of the floor. It's interior defense as far as the defensive end for the Bulldogs of Lawrence, and offensively they've taken the ball inside to Johnson via penetration and dish, and also a higher set offensively up near the foul line and creating some openings for Johnson on the lob pass.
And Underwood is shooting 1-and-1. He has 10 points in the game. He's 2 for 2 on the line as he steps up and misses. A rebound almost saved in bounds by Baldock, but he kept going. He called timeout just before he hit the floor. So Lawrence will keep the ball. They've charged for a timeout.
Lawrence calls timeout.
2:48 to go. It's an 11-point lead now for Lawrence. There's still 2:48 to go, and it's going to take a lot for Hampden, but feasibly with the three-point shot in the game, there's still time, but they're going to have an awful lot of things happen right. As we honor our player of the game, Jed Johnson, has got 25 points. Player of the game brought to you by the University of Maine at Machias. Jed Johnson having an outstanding ball game, a great first half, starting to come alive, making some things happen in the second half. Congratulations, Jed Johnson, player of the game, sponsored by the University of Maine at Machias, a personal approach to education on the coast of Maine.
It was certainly a well-deserved honor for Jed Johnson. He's made the difference in the second half on both ends of the floor.
He's also 9 for 12 on the foul line as well. 25 points, not a bad afternoon's work to lead Lawrence to an 11-point lead with 2:40 to go. Johnson on the baseline. There's a collision. You could hear that one. Two bodies colliding underneath the basket. Johnson and Owen Karen.
Tough call right there. I'm not sure either player get up from that one without a few bruises. They're going to be a little sore in the morning.
You could hear the grunt on both sides when they collided and hit the floor. And Johnson is the guy who goes to the foul line now, our player of the game. Johnson shooting 2, misses the first one.
Let's say it again, though. Johnson is our player of the game. He's supposed to hear that and go on cue and make this one now.
25 points for him and 13 rebounds to go along with the player of the game honor.
Thank you, Jed.
Jed Johnson, 26 points, 13 rebounds. 2:36 to go. Biggest lead of the game is 12 for Lawrence now. Number 4, Lawrence leading number 5, Hampden, 55-43.
I like what Lawrence is doing here, too, Mike. They're forcing Hampden to take some time off the clock by extending that pressure to full court.
In the backcourt, Estes for Hampden. And the backcourt violation. Thomas threw it to Owen Karen as he was in the backcourt and tried to leap into the front court, but no go there. Backcourt. And Hampden cannot afford to turn it over at any time in this game as they try to rally from 12 points down.
Well, they've also got to turn up the defensive pressure, outplaying man-to-man. They've got to get some steals.
Johnson baseline. His shot is blocked under there. That both Russell and Thomas defending it nicely, but Lawrence will keep the basketball. And no travel in there. Josh Berard dragged his pivot foot when he made the quick stop and found nobody open.
Johnson made a great decision off the offensive glass that time. Got the ball, got it in control, and kicked it back out. Run more time off the clock.
In the backcourt now, Derek Rogerson. In the front court is Owen Karen waiting for Rogerson. Only 2 minutes to go. They're trying to get Rogerson open for a 3. He'll shoot it left of the baseline. It's an air ball. The putback is up and in by Owen Karen.
Owen Karen.
And the timeout is called. With 1:53 to go, it's a 10-point lead for Lawrence.
Rogerson creating the penetration, a little contact, no call, but right inside, exactly where it needed to be, is Owen Karen. And he got the 2 to go from inside.
As we look at the Hampden huddle over there, Coach Andrew Frace, we're down 10 guys with 1:53 to go. This is what I want you to try to do.
Hey, we've seen stranger things happen. For those of you that were here last night watching the boys Class D state championship, at the end of the first half of Valley was unbelievable. They just put on a stretch in the last few seconds the first half.
There's the long up-court pass intended for Underwood, but he won't catch up with it. So Hampden will have the ball underneath their own basket.
Where it didn't touch anybody, that's where they'll have the ball, and they'll get a chance with no time going off the clock to cut into this 10-point lead.
Checking in forwards, number 42, Mike Brown.
So you like this for Hampden. If they can kick it out and get a couple of quick threes or get a basket and a foul, then they can get back into this game in a hurry.
If you get a good look at a 3, take it. If you don't, make sure you get a good look at a 2.
Russell tried to pass it in the middle. The ball is loose. And let's see, it's tied up, and Hampden will keep the basketball on the possession error. So Hampden having an opportunity at least with a basketball, but Lawrence is playing good defense and not giving him very much now. Thomas in the lane, won't go. Gets gets his own rebound. Thomas. 18 points. It's an 8-point lead for Lawrence. 1:30 on the clock.
Hamden's got to come out and put some more pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Valuable seconds running now.
Underwood dishes off down underneath. The up fake. Neto blocked out of there. Thomas with a block, and Hampden comes away with the basketball. Rogerson and hits it for 2. 17 points for Rogerson. With only a minute to go, it's a 6-point lead for Lawrence. And Hampden has to commit the foul to get the basketball.
They've got to take some chances here, Mike. They're playing too soft defensively. Andy Frace is over there screaming.
And finally the foul, but they let an awful lot of time go off the clock. Rogerson didn't want to foul. He has 4. And he backed off. So finally, someone who could afford to commit the foul did.
Tough decision in that situation, Mike, because yes, Rogerson doesn't want to foul because he has 4. However, you've got to stop the clock. You may have to take that risk in this, with only 47.5 seconds remaining, down 6. You've got to stop the clock. Too many seconds went off the clock if you're Hampden.
John Kent on the line, the 6-foot junior, shooting 1 and 1. He misses the foul shot. Russell with the rebound for Hampden. In the backcourt, Rogerson. Now they get it off to Estes. And drawing the foul, number 35 is Karen. Foul on Lawrence.
Exactly what you want to do if you're Hampden, is take the ball right to the basket. They did a nice job there, and Karen's going to line with a chance to cut this lead to 4.
And Underwood is called for his 4th. That'll stop the clock at 38 seconds. So Hampden is not out of this game yet. Game's not over. Karen on the line. Owen Karen, a 6'4" sophomore, shooting 2, misses the first one. But you do have to get those. If you can possibly hit those to catch up.
We talked about that early in the 4th quarter. Hampden has had many chances from the free throw line. 1 and 1 when they had it earlier, and now two shots. They've got to convert on these in the last 38 seconds.
Karen, the sophomore, hopes he can get the second one. Takes a lot of time, and he doesn't get it. Rebound, though, a good board, a tough board, but the basket won't fall under there for Carson. And then it's still Hampden ball knocked out of bounds. So a nice effort under there by Chris Carson, but he couldn't get it to drop. And that would have made a big difference.
Thomas checking back in along with Adam Russell in some offensive defensive substitutions for Hampden Academy.
Hampden down by 6, 33 seconds. They get it into the big guy. Thomas, he gets it. Thomas with 18 points, and a timeout is called. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
On a really broad
one run. They're only down by 4, 29 seconds to go, but they got to make things happen in a hurry on offense, or on defense rather, and they do. There's the quick foul on Chris Carson.
And the key word that you just said, Mike, was quick. They didn't let a lot of time go off the clock this time in sending Lawrence to the foul line. That's something that in the next 27 seconds, we're going to see a lot of foul shots if Hampden is doing their job defensively.
And Underwood goes to the line. Justin Underwood, the 6-foot senior, shooting 2 in the double bonus. He misses the foul shot. This is what you have to hope for Hampden. You make the fouls, you hope they miss, you get the ball and score. You're down by 4, still got time to go.
Again, the offensive defensive substitutions. Carson going out as well as McBee. And back in is Thomas for Hampden.
And Underwood gets 1 out of 2. It's a 5-point lead. Still a 2-possession. Rogerson on the run, gets it! It's a 3-pointer. It counts and he goes to the line. It's a huge shot. It's a 2-point ball game.
Holy cow, how about that?
Could be a 4-point play for Rogerson, and it could be a 1-point ball game. And as we said, you just never know.
Not at all. You can see that Rogerson getting the ball, takes it across the timeline, is going to leap, but he's behind the 3-point line when he leaps, gets it to kiss off the glass and go for 3, and a chance for a 4-point play.
Baldock of Lawrence called for the foul. And Hampden, who looked not too long ago like this game might be over, are back in now. And I'm sure that shot was planned. And the foul shot is good. It's a 4-point play for Rogerson. It's a 1-point ball game. Lawrence 56, Hampden 55 with 20 seconds to go. Lawrence with the basketball. Quick foul in the backcourt on Hampden, and it's on Owen Karen. He picks up his second. Both teams are in the double bonus, by the way, so a better shot for the offense to at least have 2 shots at it instead of the 1-and-1.
No question.
And on the line, John Kent, a 6-foot junior, taking 2 shots. He misses it. He's 0 for 2 on the line now. It's a 1-point ball game with 18 seconds to go. Hampden leads 56-55.
Russell and Thomas back in for Hampden, checking back out on the offensive defensive substitutions. It's going to be Chris Carson and John McBee again.
It's Lawrence leading 56-55, 18 seconds to go. Foul shot is good. Kent gets a foul shot. And it's a 2-point lead for Lawrence now, and Hampden will have the ball.
With that foul shot right there, makes that play, that 4-point play by Rogerson, look even more big right now than it really was. Huge play by Rogerson.
Hampden down 2. There's a long pass to Rogerson, and is picked off by Underwood. 14 seconds now. Lawrence with the basketball, the foul in the backcourt. Once again, Owen Karen, he has him to waste, and he's got 3.
Well, I'm not sure that's what Coach Andy Frace wanted. A lot of time on the clock to attempt a pass like that, especially down only 2.
Nick Baldock at the line to shoot 2 shots.
Nick Baldock heading to the foul line, and he'll shoot 2. And you hope he misses at least 1, and you still have a 1-possession to tie it with a 3-pointer. If he makes both, it's a 2-possession game. And Baldock makes the first one. So now it's 58-55 Lawrence with 11.7 seconds to go.
Mike McGee wants timeout here.
McGee with the timeout, 11.7. We'll stay here as we wind down. We don't want to miss the end of this. But this is a huge foul shot coming up because it's a difference between a 1-possession or 2-possession game for Hampden.
Unless, of course, Derek Rogerson pulls something else out of his bag of tricks.
If he wants to pull off another 4-point play, then... You know, that, of course. We'll see if he has 2 in his bag of tricks.
Then we're talking a little deja vu all over again as far as you and I are concerned.
That's right.
This is an all-important free throw, though. If he makes this one, it changes the complexion of what Hampden's going to try to do down on the other end. And
it changes Lawrence defensively. They'll back way off. They don't mind if they hit the 3-pointer. They still win by 1. And they don't want to foul. However, if he misses this, then they have to be careful to give Hampden a good 3-point shot.
Still plenty of time left on the clock. Obviously, this free throw being the key.
And it's good. It's a big foul shot by Baldock. And Hampden with 10 seconds, they're down by 4. Rogerson. Right to Estes. Down to Thomas. Thomas scores the basket, but there's not time will run out. And Lawrence will win it 59-57. Hampden made a nice run at it, though. But Lawrence will advance to the semifinals. Mike McGee and the Bulldogs, after missing the tournament last year, coming back in with a big quarterfinal win. And they'll head on into the semifinals on Friday. Hampden's finishing their year at 15-4. It's a good year for Andy Frace and the crew, but not in the cards tonight.
Certainly, and just the key play in the ball game, in my mind, you know, we had a long full court pass that was stolen by Lawrence, and that was really the key play in the ball game late in the game.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Maine, there's only one locally produced morning newscast with the important information.
Maine graduates have made their mark in Maine and around the world.